It's the next level.
Hmm? Ah!
We lied, Ma.
What do you mean you lied?
All of us. The Oceanic 6, we lied about what happened after the crash.
And what did happen?
Okay. See, we did crash. But it was on this crazy island. And we waited for rescue, and there wasn't a rescue. And then there was a smoke monster. And then there were other people on the island. We called them the others. And they started attacking us. And we found some hatches, and there was a button you had to push every 180 minutes, or... Well, I was never really clear on that. But the others didn't have anything to do with the hatches. That was the Dharma Initiative. They were all dead. The others killed them. And now they're trying to kill us. And then we teamed up with the others because some worse people were coming on a freighter. Desmond's girlfriend's father sent them to kill us. So we stole their helicopter, and we flew it to their freighter, but it blew up. And we couldn't go back to the island because it disappeared. So then we crashed into the ocean, and we floated there for a while until a boat came and picked us up. And by then, there were 6 of us. That part was true. But the rest of the people who were on the plane, they're still on that island.
I believe you.
Welcome to another episode of We Have to Go Back, Lost Revisited, as we continue with our coverage of the 5th season. I'm Ben.
I'm Kristin. This week we move forward. Hey! Hey! This week we move forward with our discussion of season 5, episode 2, The Lie.
I think it's a record how fast we kind of derailed there for Hey! It's a horrible Harry Callis.
I was going to say, is that Harry Carey?
Yeah, Harry Carey impressions.
Well, it was Will Smith, us doing Will Smith, Will Ferrell doing Harry Carey. Yes. I'm the guy playing the dude, played by another dude.
Hey.
Hey.
You suppose the moon is made of cheese?
Sight.
That was horrible.
I'm curious like a cat.
I'm curious like a cat.
That's why my friends call me Whiskers.
Oh, I need to watch those sketches again. I forgot about those.
That particular, the best of Will Ferrell, that particular one, it's like pee your pants funny.
Yeah, it's, oh my God. I forgot about his, I mean, I didn't forget about it, but I forgot about the whole, I'm curious like a cat.
That's why my friends call me Whiskers.
Oh, all right. Anyway, on to what we're here for. And that's Lost.
Sure.
Season
if 5. You don't feel lost while you're listening to us, then did you do it right?
Hey, that's a good thing that we. Hey. God. Oh man. All right. Looney. No. So yeah, Lost. Season 5, episode 2, The Lie. If you're not already aware, this is a spoiler-full podcast, which means we will talk about things from the past as well as the future of the series. So just a forewarning on that. But yeah, season 5, episode 2, which, as we realized last week, the premiere of this season was a 2-parter, and we broke it up into 2 separate episodes of the podcast.
Oh, there's just so much that happens in each of these 2. No, there isn't. Actually,
you know, and that's the thing too. Like, I thought episode 1 of this season was set up for episode 2 and the rest of the season. It's really not, because there's not much more that happens.
No,
in this episode, I think both of these episodes combined are set up for the rest of the season.
Well, okay, so let's just get right into this. You leave the first episode I'm so sorry. I'm going to be clearing my throat most of the time through this. I don't know what's going on. I think it's the pollen or something like that. So I apologize in advance. So you end because, is it because we left or because you left? Because you left.
Because you left, yes.
Because you left. With Desmond, he's going to Oxford. And so I'm sitting here and I'm like, ooh, yeah, we get to pick back up with Desmond. And then so I see the guys getting out the beards and they're on a boat. And I'm like, I go, that looks like Lapidus, but I think it's Desmond because that's where we left off was with Desmond. And then it ends up being Lapidus. And I'm like, stupid Lapidus. And then we go into
dare you, madam? Stupid Lapidus?
Well, I needed the Oxford trip. I didn't want, the fallout from the, Operation Dart Saeed. I wanted the fallout from, I have to go to Oxford, and I got what I didn't want. So I'm sitting there watching. Okay. And I'm like barely taking notes because I'm like, this is nothing. This isn't going to do anything. And then I get to the end and I'm like, oh shit, I didn't take any notes because I thought we were going to Oxford and we didn't. So that's my story. What's yours?
Can I just say I love Operation Dart? That's a good name. That's a good name. That's probably should have been what this episode was called. Was Operation Dart.
Where Saeed maybe died, kind of died, coma died, and then Jack, of course, brought him back to life.
Why is there a dead Pakistani on my couch?
Did you know that people Googled that? Like that's a big Google search term or something like that because people are like so bugged by the fact that it wasn't ever corrected that he wasn't Pakistani.
That he's Iraqi and not Pakistani.
Yeah, I was waiting for Hurley to say that too.
I think
he's from Iraq.
You're right. If anybody would have corrected it, it would have been Hurley. But I think Hurley had other things on his mind at that point, like the fact that she said he wasn't breathing. And you see Hurley rushing down the stairs to check.
Don't worry, Mom. We got to play, Mom. We're okay, Mom.
Yeah. So, I mean, let's just get into things because there is quite a bit that happens in this episode, but it's nothing like earth shattering. It is still more further setup and exposition for the rest of the season. The biggest part of this episode is the fact that it's Hurley and Saeed, and it's convincing Hurley that he has to become part of this group that goes back. And it's that journey along the way. But yeah, we start at the boat with Saeed and Jack, kind of a little bit more furthering of the story that we got in the season finale of season 4 of the lie that they have to tell. And a little bit more on the fact that it's not just for the sake of protecting the people on the island. It's for the sake of protecting themselves at the same time. Because as Jack and Hurley are talking about in that conversation, who's going to believe them when they talk about everything that happened on that island?
Well, Hurley makes a really good point there where he's just like, if somebody backs me up, then they won't think I'm crazy. I think that this is one of those times where they're both right.
Mm-hmm.
I think that blindly following Jack's last minute decision, maybe wasn't the best route to take. Having Penny there to back up the fact that, her father would never give up and, use them to find the island, was true, but that was always going to be true whether they lied or not.
Yeah.
I mean, he knows that the island was moved. He doesn't think it just disappeared. And he knows that the Oceanic Six are going to be the ones to help him find the island, whether they lie or not. So I don't see what that really has to do with anything.
I mean, as an immediate decision, like there in the moment, I can understand Jack's perspective. Like, we need to lie because we're going to sound crazy if we don't. It's either one of us sounds crazy or we all sound crazy. because if everybody backed up Hurley, then everybody sounds crazy. It's 6 people, it's 5 people you don't believe rather than 1 person you don't believe. But in the long run of anything, I think not lying about it and knowing Charles Whitmore is still going to be coming after them or looking for the island, I think it kind of hurts them in the long run. Because if you come out and you're open about everything that happened, whether or not people believe you, then that kind of exposes Charles Whitmore a little bit. Mm-hmm. He's going to back off of his plan because it's going to seem like he's feeding into what they're saying, which makes him crazy. But
yeah.
If you hide everything that happened like they did, then Charles Whitmore can still be under the radar doing what he's doing and continue on his mission. If that makes sense.
Right. And since they have to live with the lie and they have to kind of live in the shadows as a result, it makes them easier targets.
Yeah. So, I mean, if you think about it, like in the moment, Jack's right, but in the long run, Hurley's right.
But hasn't that always been the case with Hurley? Like, when are people going to get with it? They've spent the last 100 and whatever days with Hurley and with Jack. And, to me, when we're ending season 4, you really see Hurley is starting to kind of flex his leadership muscles a little bit. In like very subtle ways. And Jack is kind of losing his leadership steam, because he's making all of these rash decisions. And they get off of the island and they get onto this boat. And all of a sudden we're back to Jack making all the decisions, even though he hasn't been a reliable leadership option for, quite some time.
Yeah. Yeah. He's kind of been... I mean, I guess the only word I can think of is selfish. I mean, not selfish to the point of John Locke selfish, because John Locke pretty much just did whatever he did for himself. And for the sake of, as I say in quotations, the island, as Ben was doing. And I put that in quotations because I think John Locke was using the excuse he was using it for the island, but really truly doing it for himself.
Yeah.
Jack was doing it. I believe his intentions were right in that he was doing it to protect everybody, but he kind of had his own self motives in a closer sense rather, and everybody else's protection in hindsight. It was still everybody's protection was the reason, but Jack still had a little bit more self-interest in it than just protecting everybody else.
Right. Absolutely. Well, Jack doesn't do anything unless he has a stake in it. He doesn't do anything selflessly.
Yeah. I mean, you look at the situation, look at the helicopter. I mean, as a prime example of that, Jack is adamant that they don't return to the beach, when they're losing fuel. And the one person that steps up to make the 100% selfless move is Sawyer.
It's not Jack.
Yeah, it's not Jack. If Jack really cared about the well-being of everybody else, he'd sacrifice himself for the sake of it happening. And he's not the one that steps up and does it. It's Sawyer.
Right. Well, Sawyer's always been the better man.
Yeah. It's just, again, like one of the things I've loved about these 75, 76 episodes that we've done of this podcast in 4 seasons is that the more we talk about these episodes, we break them down and analyze them. I've gained new perspective on some of these characters, and Sawyer is really one of the main culprits of that. I've really come around on the character of Sawyer.
Yay. That's exciting because I think he's great. I do think that it's great that we kind of get this introduction to the island's new leadership. And it's kind of like we took the original leaders and we improved them and made them new people. So I wrote this down. I said that Sawyer and Juliet are the new and improved Jack and Kate.
It's true.
Miles is the new Sawyer. Daniel is the new Locke.
Yeah, that's okay. The Miles thing I got the moment you said it. Daniel took me a second, but yeah, that I think Daniel is a combination, as weird as this may be, I think he's a combination Locke and Charlie.
Oh, I was going to say Locke and Desmond.
Okay, I can see that too.
Because Desmond could see the future.
The only reason I brought up Charlie was because of the Charlotte aspect.
Well, so Charlotte, I think, is just their red shirt.
Well, that's what she's going to become.
Right. But they needed one. Right. And I think that even look, I make these terms very loosely because I think that we have a new and improved Sawyer personality in Miles. Right.
And I love it.
He's not like this racist honky tonk con man. He's like this weird, caustic, what do you call it? Medium, right? Yes. And then you've got Daniel, who, Locke just kind of did stuff on faith. Well, the island wants me to do it, and I'm going to go off and tromp in the woods and not tell anybody. But Daniel knows exactly what's happening, but he still wants to be super vague about it, like Locke, right?
Speaking of red shirt, did you happen to notice the color shirt that Frogert is wearing?
Was it red?
It's red.
Of course it was.
Yep. Which you know what? It's a
the way he died. Sorry, reminded me of when of Samuel L. Jackson in
Deep Blue Sea.
Yeah, in Deep Blue Sea.
Makes the massive speech only to be taken out like,
Yep.
We don't even have fire. Okay.
Here's some fire.
Which, I mean, if you need a way to cut out a lot of characters, how else to do it than to just have faceless people just fire flaming arrows into the group?
Especially in the island, because you're just like, yeah, okay, that tracks.
Yeah.
Sure.
Well, I mean, it does. I mean, you look at some of the inhabitants of that island, both from the past and the present. Yeah. Flaming arrows makes a lot of sense.
Even if it didn't, though, I think that as a viewer, you're just at the point where you're like, cool.
All right. Yep. I buy it. But yeah, Frogert was wearing a red shirt.
I love it.
Earlier on, when the sun was still out, he was wearing a red shirt, and then it's kind of difficult to see once it goes to the night scene when he gets killed. But yeah, I'm assuming he didn't change because he gave Sawyer the other shirt that he had. So to see him wearing a red shirt was fun. It's a common trope in television and movies that usually people die are wearing red shirts, and it comes from Star Trek for anybody that's not aware of it. Usually the away teams wore, like, the ensigns wore red shirts, and they were the ones that usually never came back from the away missions. Hence the term red shirts, which I love. I love seeing people do that.
I do too, especially because, like, if you know, but if you don't, then you'll never know. But
yeah,
but I do love it.
It's kind of like, it's become another common trope, kind of like the Wilhelm scream.
Yeah.
Like the Wilhelm scream is very popular in pop culture. You hear it. Once you know the scream, you will hear it every time you hear it. And it's in a lot of movies that people have seen. I mean,
I love it that they call it the Wilhelm scream, because in my opinion, it's R2-D2 scream.
R2-D2 never does the Wilhelm scream.
Yes, he does.
No, he doesn't. No, you're thinking of a different sound effect. R2-D2 never does the Wilhelm scream. One of the stormtroopers in Star Wars does the Wilhelm scream in the scene, because the Wilhelm scream is only in Star Wars: A New Hope, and it's when Luke and Leia are getting ready to swing over that chasm, and the stormtroopers are on the other side. It's one of the stormtroopers. I'm giving our listeners a lesson in Wilhelm scream. It's when one of the stormtroopers falls over the edge down into the chasm is when you hear the Wilhelm scream.
I don't think so.
Agree to disagree, but okay.
Well, okay. Yeah. Hey, you're the guy. So the sound guy, the movie trivia guy.
And I also have a podcast called Wilhelm.
Oh.
So, but no, I mean, the red shirt trope is kind of like another Wilhelm scream. Like, you hear the Wilhelm scream in a number of movies and television series, from Star Wars to Lord of the Rings. You hear it. And red shirts is another common trope that you hear, or that you see. It'd be odd if you heard it. That you see in a lot of different other pop culture projects. So anyway, Frogert wore a red shirt.
Frogurt wore a red shirt. That's a really long way of saying Frogurt wore a red shirt.
Frogurt wore a red shirt. New band name, I called it. Did you happen to see, while we're talking about that scene with, the flaming arrows coming in, and, people getting taken out, and Sawyer and Juliet running for their lives, as well as Rose and Bernard and Daniel and Charlotte and everybody else. Did you happen to see who else makes an appearance in that scene? Someone who we haven't seen in a while?
No.
Vincent.
I did. And you know what? That's so great that you said that, because I actually made a note in my head to be like, let him off the leash, man. Let him run for his life the way that he needs to.
Yeah.
They're like holding him back and running from flaming arrows. Like, unhook him or let go of the leash. Like, do something to let him survive.
But I love the fact that through everything that has happened to all of these people on this island, Vincent is a survivor. Like, he is still there. He may not make an appearance in every episode, but he is still alive. Like, he's the Losty mascot. And when it comes down to the very end, spoiler alert, he is one of the last people that you see in the series.
He's not a person, but yes, I get what you're saying.
Still a he. Vincent is still a he. Vincent is I think if I remember correctly, I think he's in the last scene.
Yeah, he's the very last shot.
Yeah, he's in the very last shot of the series.
In the first shot and the last shot.
Yep. Which is it's an amazing bookend.
I love it.
To the series.
Yeah, I love it that they did that.
The series ends with the same shot as it began with.
Which is great.
Yeah, I love it. I can't wait till we get to talk about that finale. That finale has divided so many people. And I've defended it since it aired.
Meanwhile, Game of Thrones united a lot of people
in its hatred for the finale.
I always have to bring up the hate that I hold in my heart for Game of Thrones.
Well, what's funny is I was in a group chat that I was in. Somebody brought up the whole if you could bring back a show for one more season, what would it be? And there's a lot of like, Firefly and Jericho and Pushing Daisies, which are all good options. A mutual friend of ours, Rima, said Game of Thrones. And
what did she say? Wait. Start over.
She said, if you could bring a television series back for one more season, what would it be? Uh-huh. And Rima's response was Game of Thrones. And everybody was like, why Game of Thrones? And she's like, because they need to fix the travesty they gave us for the last season that we did. Which should have been 2 to begin with.
Yeah.
So, oh God. This has been Finale Talk with Ben.
Finale Talk with Ben and Kristin.
Getting back to Sayid and Hurley, which is pretty much the meat of this episode. How great was it seeing another face from the past in this episode?
Ana Lucia. Oh my gosh, I loved seeing her, and I also loved it that he wasn't getting pulled over in that moment.
I know. Because I like rewatching this episode when he's driving with Sayid and the police lights came on. I'm like, I don't remember this. I don't remember him getting pulled over. Like, I know at some point he goes back to jail, but it's not yet. Like, what?
I remembered it was Ana Lucia. The minute she got out of the car, I was like, oh yeah, this is Ana Lucia.
It wasn't until she was approaching the window, I was like, oh, that's right. I think this is Ana Lucia.
It was so cool.
Which actually adds further credence to the rumor that we had talked about before, and we have since yet debunked that Michelle Rodriguez was booted off the show because of the DUI that she got when she was in, and Lindelof and them have come out and said, no, this was always part of the story that she was going to die. They would have never brought her back for this cameo if she was written off for the DUI. So this just further debunks that rumor of why she left the show. Like, this was always part of her story.
Right. Because that could have easily just been Charlie.
Oh, yeah. Or they could have brought back Cutlets for that.
Well, he never met Cutlets. Oh, yeah, he did. Yeah, he did.
Okay.
Yeah, remember when they started doing the flash forwards and he got arrested after going into going into like crashing his car into something, and Cudlitz comes in. He's like, I had my old partner was on that plane.
That's right.
Ana Lucia. And he's like, nah, don't know her. I didn't I didn't run her funeral.
And then, of all things to say to Hurley when she's leaving, oh, by the way, Libby says hi.
That was awesome.
Which we kind of know Cynthia Watros actually was removed from the show because of DUI. Michelle Rodriguez was not. So, because at some point, I'm sure they probably could have, although I think Cynthia Watros actually does come back in the last season.
Well, she also comes back. She's already been back too in a hospital scene of some sort.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Recently, and it was someone's hospital scene.
Yeah, I don't
Was
remember.
it Hurley's hospital?
Well, we know there's a scene with her in the mental institution with Hurley.
No, she was playing like the doctor or the nurse.
Oh,
or something
that's
like
right.
That.
It was Michael.
Yes, that's what it was. Yeah. Because he killed. Yep. See, we know things.
So she does come back, and if I remember correctly, I think she's with Hurley in the church. Yeah.
Well, everybody comes back at the end.
Well, Michelle Rodriguez doesn't.
She doesn't need her end.
Oh, that's true. That's right. She doesn't need that. I'll turn it back over to you because I've been talking for a while. Where do you want to go?
Well, I did. Staying with Hurley and Saeed is okay. I feel like Hurley was being tested during this episode for kind of like whether or not he's really ready to lead. I think just because like Saeed was gone, he had to make a lot of his decisions. He was screwing up right and left, which is why Ana Lucia gets involved. And she's like, man, you have got to pull yourself together. Like, are you kidding me right now? You've got a passed out guy in the corner. You've got blood. Oh, this is ketchup, actually, blah, blah, blah. Like, you can't be this like bumbling fool anymore. Like, you've got to start being an adult, buddy. Like, let's get this going, And, you kind of see elements of that kind of popping up throughout the episode, but when it really comes down to it, he's still running. Ben comes in and he just freaks out, and he'd rather get arrested for multiple murders than be in a kitchen with Ben. And without Saeed to talk to him, without Jack to be there, without somebody else to be there to talk to him, he is not willing to make his own decisions, or take accountability or responsibility for anything yet. Yeah. He's still in follow mode. I don't know. What do you think?
Well, I mean, I that scene in the kitchen, which when he throws the Hot Pocket, is hysterical.
I just wanted to clean the wall. The whole scene. I just wanted to clean the wall.
There's just that sauce splotch on the wall.
I could barely concentrate on that scene because I just wanted somebody to wipe down the damn wall.
And I love the fact too that Ben doesn't flinch. Like, he is solid as a rock when Hurley is throwing a Hot Pocket. It smashes against the wall.
Hot Pockets.
Ben doesn't even blink. Like, it's just like, okay. But Hurley screamed like, and throws the Hot Pocket. Like, is just, I laughed both times I watched the episode. Does that seem to you like a reaction of somebody who is seeing Ben for the first time since the island? Or do you think Ben has visited Hurley already? Or Hurley knows Ben is off the island? Because I don't think that's something that's established at this point. We know that Jeremy Bentham has visited Hurley, but I don't think Ben ever has at this point yet.
Probably not. He probably hasn't had to. And if Ben knows that Hurley is supposed to be eventually back on the island and taking over, he may be reluctant to start that journey for Hurley because Ben wants that back.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm speaking off the cuff here.
Well, I mean, as we talked about last episode, we know that, and we didn't really dive into it in detail, but we know some of the things that Ben said last episode are absolute lies. You know, having not seen Locke since being on the island, we know that's a lie.
You killed him.
Because Ben is is the one, he's the reason why John Locke is in the coffin. You know, but there's elements of Ben in this episode that kind of come across as in like, yeah, he is genuinely there to help these people.
100%. 100%. We have a different Ben right now.
Yeah, the fact, just for starters, the fact that he flushes Jack's pills down the toilet because he knows that Jack has an addiction problem at that point. He knows that Jack is addicted. And the fact that when Jack is looking for his pills, Ben tells him like, oh, I flushed them down the toilet. Like he is there to get Jack clear. He needs Jack clear for his, I mean, it might be selfish motives because he needs Jack so that he can get back to the island as well. But he like, you don't.
No. He's really, I think that you're right. And I'm not sure how much of it really is selfish when it comes to getting Jack clear, because when, what's her name at the butcher shop, you know, starts down, like bashing him, he says, hey man, cut him some slack. He's been through a lot. They all have.
Yeah.
And that, I mean, that to me was the most human, not human, but he's showing empathy.
Yes.
Yeah. You know, and we don't see empathy from him. We see calculating, manipulative. You know, there's bursts of humanity that we see throughout the show, definitely. But this is one of the first times, or one of the few rare times you see empathy.
Yeah, I think this is I think as a first-time viewer, I was already a really big fan of Ben as a character. Yeah. I've said it multiple times. He is my favorite character in the series. But I think it's right.
What's your favorite Tom Cruise movie?
My favorite. He listens to this. He knows what you're talking about.
I know. I hope he just had a big old laugh.
So do I.
I wasn't even there.
But this is one of those moments that I think I really like. I think this is probably one of those times that really started to solidify that, like, okay, yeah, Ben is my favorite character. Like you're right. This is the first time we see empathy from this person.
I'm sure we've seen it before, but you know, there's him off the island, cleaned up in clothes, showing empathy for some reason resonates more. I don't know.
Because like even when Alex is killed, we have empathy for his character for the first time, but for one of the first times, but I don't think we see a lot of empathy from him. Like he's just on a rage. He's just on a revenge kick.
Ben's actions post Alex dying are some of my favorite.
Oh, Alex was the switch that flips him back.
He just went full Rambo and it's awesome. Yeah. I love it. It's like, oh, bitch, I'm going to release the smoke monster on you. Then I'm going to go turn the wheel. Then I'm going to, you know, like he's amazing.
Well, we talked about it in the finale too, that like, even when he kills Kimi and he goes full on rage attack on Kimi, it's like, we know what that means for everybody else. But in that moment, we're with Ben. Like, yeah, kill this motherfucker. Sorry for my language. Like we know.
Now you have to put an E on this.
I always put an E on this.
Oh, okay.
Just in case.
On this family show.
I try to reserve the F-bombs for when they matter.
Yeah. Okay.
And that's one of those moments I'm like, yeah, that deserved to be said.
I've cleaned up my language a lot.
We don't curse nearly as much as we did when we first started this podcast.
No, that's true. I know.
We save them for when they matter.
Yes.
But yeah, I mean, this is like, you're right. This is a side of Ben that we love seeing. And even later on, when he's standing in the kitchen with Hurley, getting back to that, like he says, like Hurley, like Sayid is with Jack. I'm here to bring you to them. You know, Jack is helping Sayid. How else would I know that? Because Jack called me, how else would I know that? He's not lying at this point.
Yeah.
Like he's legitimately being truthful to Hurley because he is there in Hurley's best interest. He knows he has to get Hurley back to that island, but it's Hurley that's very hesitant. And getting back to your point, I honestly think Hurley running out of the house and getting himself arrested, while not in his own best interest, is a brilliant move on Hurley's part. Because if you want to get away from Ben, that's the way you know for sure Ben can't get back at you.
No way. No way. Of course, Ben can do anything. I think we've all learned this. Okay, Hurley, and the fact that Hurley doesn't realize that at this point, then he's a little delusional.
Yeah, because now like there's something that's starting to come back to my memory. We had a listener reach out and ask how Hurley gets out of prison to get on the plane and get to the island. If I remember correctly, and I could be wrong on this, we'll find out when we get there. I don't think Hurley is out of custody when he's on the plane. I think he's in a Kate situation where he is the one being escorted by somebody. But I could be wrong on that. Listeners, you don't have to correct me if I'm wrong, because we haven't gotten to that episode yet. We'll find out when we get to that episode whether or not I was right. But I think Hurley was the one that's in custody on that plane. Like he's in a scenario.
Poor Hurley.
We'll find out. We'll find out when we get there. Going back to the moment that Hurley shows up at home with Saeed. Yeah, you are absolutely right. Hurley's dad is absolutely enjoying the wealth, because who puts an entire jar of caviar on a sandwich? Like, for starters, if you put caviar on a sandwich, it's like a little dollop. You don't put an entire jar, because that shit is expensive.
It's also, salty.
I was just going to say, do you want a little soda do you want a little sodium with your sandwich? That's like, you know what it reminds me of? There's, for any cooks out there, there's a product called Better Than Bouillon.
Yeah, I use it.
I use it too. I use it when I make gravy.
Beef stew.
I use it when I make beef gravy. So the recipe calls for like a half teaspoon of it in the gravy. And at one point I was like, I'll add a little bit more just for some extra flavor. Nope. That made my lips pucker.
Have you ever tasted it? Just like stuck your finger in it and tasted it?
No, I'm afraid
Do it.
It's a salt bomb.
I know. I did it once.
But I literally, the recipe for my gravy calls for like half a teaspoon. And I think I put like a full teaspoon in because I wanted some extra flavor. I had to get rid of that batch of gravy because it was entirely too salty. So putting that much caviar on a sandwich is ridiculous.
Well, yeah. But you know what? Hurley's dad is ridiculous.
He is. Well, I mean, as ridiculous as he is sitting there eating a caviar sandwich, watching expose, he backs Hurley.
You know what? Hurley has great parents because they took all his money and they are enjoying the hell out of his money. But Hurley needed help and his dad came through. Hurley needed to tell the truth and his mom believed him.
Yeah.
And that is what every child wants from their parents, is for their parents to support them, to believe them, to be there for them. And you can see that Hurley got that. And that's why Hurley is as great as he is, because he at least had that with his mom. His dad showed up later, but he did have that with his mom.
Yeah.
And that's great. And the money didn't change that. And that's great.
Yeah, that's a really great point. Money may have changed his parents to a degree of like enjoying that wealth and everything. But you're right. It never changed how much they backed Hurley.
Yeah.
It never changed how much they cared about him. It never changed how much they protected him or came to his aid when he needed it.
Right.
His father hid him when the police showed up at the door. He helped get Saeed out of the house to Jack because he knew Saeed needed it.
And then he protected Hurley again by telling Jack to stay away from him.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, you're right. Like his dad may be into the money, but he's not less into Hurley. Like he still protects his son.
Yeah.
So
that's everything.
I mean, it would be one thing, like it's one thing that his mother does because his mother's been a part of his life this entire time. But his father, it's easy to say his father is back in his life purely for the money. But this episode proves that's not like, yes, he's there for the money, but he's still there for his son.
Because what that really proves that like dire straits make people do crazy, desperate things.
It shows true colors.
You know what I mean? Because, well, okay, but he can be there for his son because he doesn't have to try and like make ends meet, or he doesn't have to try and scrounge up something, to be, you can look at it as a way of like, I mean, it doesn't excuse the fact that he abandoned his wife and son, but he had all the money in the world. He had all of the, luxury in the world, his jar of caviar on a sandwich, and he still chose to love his son. So,
well, I mean, because even still, like, you think about it, when you look at priorities, like, yes, he's there for the wealth, he's there for the comfort, but to protect Hurley when he's accused of murder, which he knows at that point, that puts him at risk. So he's still willing to risk losing everything to protect Hurley.
Mm-hmm.
Because if he gets caught harboring Hurley, guess what? His ass goes to prison too. And he loses that wealth and comfort.
We never actually find out what happens to Hurley's parents because they arrest him at Hurley's house.
True, but I don't think his parents are home when he's arrested. So it could be very easy to explain that he was there. Oh, no, because the cops were sitting there the whole time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm glad it's never addressed, actually, because I don't want to see anything happen to Hurley's parents. Like, I don't want to see them go to prison for his action.
Yeah, no, me neither. I don't think Hurley wants that either.
No, I don't think Hurley wants that either. What about you?
No. I just did me. You do you.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, so one of the other things I'm looking at my notes here. One of the other things I wanted to bring up is Hurley explaining to his mom everything that happened on the island. Does that remind you of anybody? That's a total Luis from Ant-Man.
Oh, yeah.
That's a total Luis from Ant-Man recapping the entire story.
However, I would have liked to have seen Luis do it.
That would have been amazing.
But there was some polar bears, right? But then this giant smoke monster comes out, right? And you don't know where it's going. Oh my gosh, where's it going? Is it coming to me? No, it's going to go in Echo. Uh-oh.
By the way, Kevin, I know this is going off topic again. Kevin Feige, head of Marvel, has admitted there is a cut of Luis recapping the entire Avengers saga.
Okay,
from
where is
start
it?
to finish. That's what I said. I'm like, release that. I need to see that.
Doesn't exist until we've all seen it.
Yep. Because people were calling for that. Like they wanted Luis to recap everything that happened leading up to Endgame.
And have that be the marketing.
Yeah. And Feige has announced it exists. Well, then release it. I want to see it.
Show your cards, man. We're calling you.
Let's go back to the island for a minute. Because I want to talk about what's happening with Charlotte.
Okay. Sawyer got a shirt, so that was nice.
Yes. Sawyer got a shirt. Frogurt died for his, or for the color of his. We killed off a bunch of characters who didn't have names, like a bunch of faceless characters. And we get a little bit more with Charlotte not remembering her own mother's maiden name. And it's sad because the nosebleed last episode into the memory loss in this one, Charlotte's not long for this world, unfortunately.
Well, she has no constant.
True. Yeah. This is going to become a factor very, very soon. Actually, I think within the next episode or two, this is going to become something that definitely affects Charlotte's future.
Yeah.
And the short future that she has.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a bummer. Because you kind of come around on her.
Well, you get to a point now in this series where we know that Daniel and Charlotte have feelings for one another, or they care about one another, rather. And that's not going to last very long.
Oh, yeah, I didn't care about that. Is that weird?
I don't think many people did, to be honest.
I actually wanted just to know more about her backstory and stuff like that, Well,
we do get it, even after her character is gone.
But it would have been fun to, have her continue. because you were coming around on her is what I'm saying. Like she spends all of last season just being real bitchy
and kind of uptight. Yeah.
And so she's more relaxed and more like a part of things, you know? So she's one of those characters where you feel like she was gone too soon, like Shannon.
Libby.
Maybe she's a new Shannon.
Well, she's not shot by Ana Lucia.
No.
Oh my God. That's been so long ago. I forgot about that. That Ana Lucia is the one that killed Shannon. Yeah. So, I mean, again, there's not really much to talk about. It's basically they're starting to get to what's going to become the first casualty of this new group.
Yeah.
And well, not including the people that were just killed by arrows.
Not including the big mass murder that just happened in this episode.
Yeah, not including them
fine.
And Frogurt.
Poor Juliet. Juliet's like putting sand on somebody trying to put out the fire. So it's like, he dead.
Yeah.
He real dead. Let's go.
He's gone. But let's talk about what happens next from there. Is we've now encountered, in whatever time frame that they're in, we've now encountered two groups of different people. There's the people firing the flaming arrows, and there are soldiers on this island as well. We're going to get those soldiers again later. They are going to come into play again later. But this is our first introduction to them at this point.
Juliet screaming for her hand not to be chopped off was just chilling.
Yeah. But who comes to the rescue?
Locke.
I know, of all people.
I think Sawyer was just as surprised.
Yeah. Hello, James. Juliet. Like he just comes casually strolling in.
Do you think that was him? That was him walking through the bushes before when they were hiding, right? It looked like it was him.
What do you mean, before the soldiers found them, or?
Yeah. They were hiding before because one person walked by, and I thought it was Richard at first. And then when they emerged, that's when they started getting ambushed.
Yeah, I think there's a good possibility that was most likely Locke, because those soldiers, they weren't of the casual stroll. Like they
weren't being stealthy.
No, they weren't at all. And I don't think they're all dead. Like, we know for sure one of them is dead because he had a knife thrown right through his gut by John Locke. So we're pretty sure he's not making it. But I think if I remember correctly, the leader is actually taken hostage in the next episode. Like Jones or whatever his name was. Because I think we're going to find out who they are relatively soon. It's going to be before, I think, time stops jumping.
You know, I always had a memory that time stopped jumping by the end of the premiere. So I guess I'm a little off on the timing of this season as well.
Maybe. Yeah, because I had always thought, I think you're right. I think by the end, I had always had the impression that by the end of this episode, we were done with the time jumps. But I think it goes for another episode or two.
Well, the next episode is a Desmond flashback, so I'm not sure how much of the skipping in time we're going to get, or maybe we'll get a lot of it because Desmond and Daniel have to link up to be each other's constant. And let's just segue right into this, because we're about to get a big dose of our new character, Eloise Hawking.
Eloise Hawking, who we at this point, as first time viewers, we know we've seen her before,
but we don't know where.
Oh no, we do.
But but unless you've been breaking it down every single thing, you'll be like, wait a minute, I know you from somewhere. Where do I know? I've seen you in the show.
And I was wrong when I said last week she's the one that paints the picture of Desmond and of Penny, which I corrected myself. I'm like, no, she wasn't that person. I remember who she was now. She's the one that sells Desmond the ring.
Yes.
So and remember, if we remember that correctly, that scene, like, she's the one that reminds him, like, no, you need to do this.
Mm-hmm.
So we already know at this point she is somebody interesting. We just don't know who she is. And now this is the first time we're seeing her since then. and she's friends with Ben. Like they know each other. Because
this is where it starts to get into like this twisted, gnarled family tree. You've got Daniel and Desmond and Penny and Charles and Eloise, and then Ben is kind of like, I know everybody. Woo! Like it's just like they're all family and they're all not family. It's crazy.
Yeah. It's such a weird dynamic because we know people who have seen the series, we know who she is or who she's related to, rather. And we've kind of already gotten mention of her at this point because Daniel says to Desmond, you need to find my mom. Well, this is his mother. We just don't know this yet as first-time viewers. We're not aware of this. But I love the dynamic, too, of that when we first see her. It feels very Dharma station-ish. Like there's the old 80s computer that she's working on. It's this dark and dingy area. She's very obviously underground with like this twirly staircase. And you're like, ooh, like, is this happening on the island? Like, what is happening? And then she comes up to a church and who's standing there but Ben? We're like, no, this is off island. Like, what is this? And there's the whole event window determined, which is what appears on the computer. And when she tells Ben, you have 72 hours. Yeah. Like, it's like, okay, if we're smart, if we think about this, this means that this is that window to get back to the island. Yeah. So everything has to come together in 72
Ben looks
hours.
really, really uneasy about this time frame too. He's just like,
Hurley threw a total wrench into his plan.
I know. And he sounds really, really worried. He's like, I lost Reyes tonight.
Yeah.
And there just seemed to have been like a magnitude to that sentence. There was like, you could feel the weight of that sentence in that scene. And that's something to behold of
he's legitimately worried.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Because when he says to Eloise, he's like, I need more time. And she's like, well, you don't have it. So, I mean, we know he's got Jack in his back pocket. Jack is assisting him to get Sawyer. Kate's path is Saeed. Yeah. Sorry. Kate's path has kind of already been diverted to where it needs to go through the use of his lawyers. The only ones that are in question are Sun and Hurley. And Hurley just massively went off path, and he doesn't know what to do at this point. And it's just, he knows how he's going to get Sun, and that's by telling Sun that Jin is still alive. Yeah. So that's how he's going to win over Sun. But now Hurley is the kink in the chain.
I don't see Kate. I don't see Kate. Kate. I mean, look, we know Kate goes back, blah, blah, blah. It is hard to believe at this point, though. I mean, look, we all know all you have to do is tell Sun that Jin is alive, and that gets her to stop everything, right? Yeah. But what is Kate's carrot?
I don't know. And I think
I can't remember for the life of me.
I don't remember either. I think
I don't want to look it up. You know what I mean? Like, I know that I can easily do that.
Yeah, I'm not looking it up either. I think Ben's idea with Kate at that point was Kate felt protected in her home. He needed to get her out of it because you frighten Kate the slightest amount, she goes on the run. She flees. That's always been Kate's MO. So he knew to send those lawyers there questioning Aaron, questioning Aaron's DNA. That was the way to get her out of that bubble and then worry about it from there. And that's the case.
It's a good plan.
He scared her out of her bubble. She's now on the run. Now all he has to do is divert her path. If he could never get her out of that bubble, how could he get her to where she needs to be? Because she'd never leave. Scare her out of that bubble, and now he can influence the path.
That's a lot of influencing to leave Aaron behind, though.
Yeah, because that's what happens. Aaron's not on that plane.
And I don't understand why Aaron doesn't factor into any of this.
I don't know. Maybe Aaron was just never part of the plan. Because remember,
isn't he the sixth?
He is. He's the Oceanic.
He is in the Oceanic Six.
He's the Oceanic Six, but that doesn't necessarily mean he's part of the plan. He's just one of the Oceanic Six because he's one of the six that got off the island. Doesn't necessarily mean he's part of the island's plan. The six was named by the press. It wasn't named by Ben.
No, I understand that, but I understand that. That's just like one of the plot holes that I'm hoping is resolved to something that feels resolved.
As the reasoning why Aaron wasn't included in the plan.
Yeah.
So, I mean, because, there was that guy back in season 1 who told Claire, like, nobody else can raise this kid. But in essence and long term, that's what happens.
Right.
Because Kate leaves Aaron behind. So but then again, Claire does get off the island in the end. So Claire and Aaron could be reunited. Okay.
Well, let's just say that that's what happens for argument's sake until it's told to us otherwise.
Well, I don't think it ever does get told to us otherwise.
Cool.
Because it's in the finale that they get off the island again, and Claire's one of the ones that get off the island. You don't see them reunited after they get off the island. That's like where the series ends. So I think it's just theorized that maybe Claire and Aaron are reunited at some point. We'll have to wait to see, because I don't remember for the life of me who Aaron gets left with. So maybe that will give us a clue as to whether or not they could be reunited in the end.
Clearly, I don't remember either.
Yeah. So I don't know. But I know, like you said,
Kate's carrot is Claire.
That's right. She feels like she needs to go back and save Claire. That's right. Good call. Good memory on that one. The island jumping happens for the next 3 episodes.
Okay.
It happens until
316
episode 5. 316 is when the island has stopped jumping and everybody goes back.
Ah, got it.
Because
this place is death.
316 is the flight number that gets them back to the island. This place's death is when John Locke corrects what is happening to the island.
Okay, cool.
So that's when the island jumping happens. So we get 3 more episodes of the island jumping and the time jumping. Because this place's death is also when we meet, this is going to sound weird, when we meet Eloise Hawkins for the first time.
Yep. I'm excited about that too.
Yes. And it's also when we meet Charles Whitmore for the first time.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm getting really excited about what's to come.
And I know, like, if anybody's watching this series for the first time, listening to this conversation, like, what do you mean for the first time? We've already met them both, like, numerous times.
First of all, why are you listening to us if you've never seen the show before?
Yes.
I mean, thank you, but why?
Yeah. But like, what do you mean? Like, we've already met them for the first time. You'll get what we're talking about when we get to that episode. All right. So we talked about Ben's visit to the butcher.
The one thing that we haven't talked about is that very beautiful scene with Kate and Son.
Can I tell you, I honestly got choked up a little bit.
Me too.
Okay, I'm glad I'm not the only one.
Anything that mentions gin right now sends me a little over the edge.
Well, it wasn't just the conversation, it was the fact that they were flashing back to it happening.
I know. That's what I'm talking about. Jin's like, hey, I'm like, oh gosh, it's like watching the end of Romeo and Juliet. It's like, just get him off the boat.
Yeah. I'm glad you brought this up because it is in my notes, but why don't you go ahead with it?
No, go ahead.
Oh, no, I was just going to say, like, as first time viewers, we know that Son blames 2 people for Jin's death because she does believe that Jin is dead at this point. We know one of them is Charles Whitmore, but it's never revealed yet who the other person is.
Ben Linus, she said it last episode.
Oh, that's right. She did say it last episode.
Yeah.
Okay. It's confirmed that it's Ben Linus.
Yeah.
Because we get that moment where, like, Kate is breaking down. Like, we know she feels guilt for basically, like, ploying and getting Son on the chopper, telling him she's going to save Jin and then not doing it. this has been something that's been weighing on her for the longest time. She feels guilty for Jin's death. So for Sun to say, like, grab her take her by the hand and say, I don't blame you. Like, that's huge. And that has to be, I would have to think that would have to be a relief for both of them. More for Kate than Sun. Because Sun has already accepted that she doesn't blame Kate.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe, I would think maybe saying it out loud would be a little bit of more of an extra relief.
Well, it's very hard for me to imagine, you know, this was one of my last notes for the episode, actually, is despite everything that these people went through, despite all the press and all the experiences and coming back and having to reacclimate and blah, 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 and having to keep this lie, that they are as far removed from each other as they are.
Mm-hmm.
Because it seems to me that a lot of them are like seeing each other for the first time in 3 years, which is surprising to me.
Well, I mean, if you look at the lie that they told, you know, and the fact that this was just a plane crash, we survived by surviving together. Not everybody made it. What, you know, after 3 years, what reasoning would you have to not return to your normal life if you weren't hiding a lie? You know, I think going back to their normal lives, Sun going back to Korea, you know, everybody else doing what they needed to do, Jack going back to working at the hospital. I think that's the best way to kind of cover that you're lying.
I don't know. I wouldn't be able to turn that off. I wouldn't be able to just forget about those people because of the high impact they had. I mean, they've all changed so much. You know what I mean? I mean, they're not the same people that they were before they crashed.
Well, I mean, and even if the situation they told was real, even if the lie they told was real, that's a definite strong connection. Like, hey, these 6 people work together to survive.
Yeah, like why aren't you at least having like
a 1-year reunion of the day we returned home?
Or just get together for like Jin's birthday or the birth of Jin and Sun's daughter, or for Aaron's birthday. Why isn't anybody going to Aaron's birthday party every year?
Yeah. Especially if the lie they told was true, then that means that they were all there for Aaron's birth.
I mean, we see them at Hurley's birthday party, but that's it. It's like they all tried to stay in touch and then maybe just fell away. It's just weird to me.
Well, I also think Hurley's birthday party was relatively close to when they returned.
That birthday party theme, man, that still gets me.
Yeah, Mom doesn't exactly get it. But yeah, I'm glad that you brought up the whole Sun and Kate conversation, because it really was a beautiful moment between the two characters. And again, a beautiful moment as a viewer, because like we admitted, like I got choked up watching it. Even knowing that Jin is still alive. Like I still got choked up seeing Jin on the freighter frantically waving his hands and
at this
everything.
Point though, we don't know that Jin is alive.
No, we don't. No,
that's a big secret.
Well, not exactly, because at the time that the series was in production, it had been announced that Daniel Day Kim was coming back as a series regular. Yeah, but
with the way that time jumps in this episode, in this show,
it could have been flashbacks or a visits to Hurley. You know, it could have been anything at that point. You're right. That really covers a lot of the main things that I have too. I have a couple little notes.
I don't have anything else.
Kate and Hurley just miss each other
at the gas station,
which is very reminiscent of seasons 1 and 2, because we see through a series of flashbacks through seasons 1 and 2 how interconnected these people's lives are to each other. And we're kind of getting a little bit of a relapse of that. Like we're seeing how close tied these people are to the fact that they just miss each other at a gas station.
Even though they don't want to be.
They want nothing to do with each other.
I know. I did read a cool piece of trivia. Let me see if I can find it, because I thought it was very cool.
Okay. While you're looking for that, I'll just mention my other 2 notes.
Sorry.
No, it's fine. I love Miles going to find dinner. It kind of gives us a little bit of a sense of that clairvoyance that he has. And he just happened, like he knows to look for a dead animal because he can sense it. And he picks up a boar that had only been dead, that died in the woods and had only been dead
for 3 hours.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, cool. Yeah. Anybody have a knife? Yeah, sure. I have a knife. Sure.
It's right next to the Cuisinart. Like, shut up, Froger.
Hilarious. Okay, I found it. It said, in the gas station scene, all of the Oceanic Six appear or are explicitly referenced. Hurley and Saeed are in the truck, Kate and Aaron in the SUV, Sun's voice was on the cell phone, and Jack's name was on the cell's display.
Oh, that's a good pickup.
Yeah, I read that and I was like, "Ooh, I'm going to mention that."
Yeah, that's a good find because I didn't think about that. You're right. Because Jack Shepherd is on the phone.
I love it.
Although, I mean, Sun's voice is on the other line, but we don't hear it. But it's her,
not at all. But it's her.
It's her.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you're right. And Hurley and Saeed and Kate and Aaron. Yeah, all 6 of them. The only other note I have. And I love this note even more now because of the point that you made in the beginning of how Miles is the new Sawyer and Sawyer is the new Jack, is when Sawyer calls Daniel Dr. Wizard and Miles corrects him. He's like, I think it's Mr. Wizard. And Sawyer's like, shut up. I love that scene even more now, thinking of Miles as the new Sawyer. I love it so much.
Frogurt tried to be the new Sawyer before he died by saying Bertie the dentist and calling Sawyer an inbred. But see, it didn't roll off the tongue as nicely because he's, annoying.
Yeah.
Sawyer was charming, is charming.
And, stepping into those new roles, like you said, how they're the new Kate and Jack, that's really going to come into play later. Yeah. Because Sawyer takes up a leadership role, but not just for these people. Like, he takes over a leadership role for a lot of people.
I love Sawyer. So we're coming into some good Sawyer.
Yeah.
And it's already been awesome.
Sawyer really steps into a great leadership role in this season and really steps into the spotlight this season.
There are some people that just need their chance. And Sawyer is one of those prime examples. Some people just need the bigger personalities to just get out of the way. Sawyer stays rough around the edges because nobody really wants to give him a chance. But when given the chance, he rises. Yeah. And he's proved that over and over and over again. But now with Jack and Saeed and Kate gone, this is Sawyer's opportunity to really show that he could have always been a really good leader.
And it becomes an interesting dynamic when those guys come back and find that Sawyer is in that leadership role. Mm-hmm. It's especially with Jack, because Jack has no choice but to take a back seat,
which is great.
It makes for such a fantastic dynamic. And I can't wait. We're getting to that point. So we get the next, like I said, the next 3 episodes are more flashbacks up until this place's death, which is where the time jumps start. 316 is them coming back to the island. The following episode is the life and death of Jeremy Bentham, which is an amazing episode. And I cannot wait till we get to that. And I think that entire episode takes place in present day off island. And then it's not until episode 8, which is LaFleur.
We should ask Des to come back for life and death of Jeremy Bentham.
I'm fine with that.
I
know he's listening to this, so all he's got to do is Des, if you're hearing this, let us know if you want to do that. If you want to come back for the life and death of Jeremy Bentham.
Well, I mean, he loves Locke so much.
I know. Oh, so much. It's like his favorite character. But yeah, that's all of my notes for this episode.
I have nothing else.
All right. So that leads us into our feedback section of the podcast. We encourage everybody to leave us feedback, whether you agree with us, disagree with us, let us know if you have some like funny little things that hit us up. Let us know. There are multiple ways you can do that. First, we're on Facebook at facebook.com/Lost Revisited.
We are on Twitter at Lost Revisit Pod and Instagram at Lost Revisited Pod.
You can email us at lostrevisitedpod@gmail.com.
And if you'd like to leave us a message, you can record yourself and send it to our email address.
And just one final thing. If you're enjoying the show, we encourage you to leave us a review on whatever platform that you're listening on, if it allows you to do so. I know Apple Podcasts does that. Some apps allow you to do it as well. So if you're liking us, leave us a review. Let us know. So we have two pieces of feedback, as we usually do, from our friends Des and Steve. We have to preempt one of them. Our buddy Steve, who leaves us feedback every week. We don't ordinarily listen to feedback before we play it. When we play it, that's the first time we hear it, because we don't want what they say in feedback to influence our breakdowns and discussions of the podcast. So we don't play them until you hear them. That's the first time we're hearing them. We made an exception this time because Steve sent me a message in saying that he was, pretty sure his feedback was coherent enough to listen to. In other words, Steve had a little bit to drink while he was watching the episode.
And he admits it.
And he freely admits it. So we're going to play it.
Enjoy the comedy.
It's not too bad. You can definitely hear a difference in tone from the start of his voicemail to the end of his voicemail. So we'll start with that. Just again, be pre-warned.
I've left podcast feedback before that I actually don't remember leaving. And this was back in like Walking Dead cast days when like nobody, like I hadn't even met Jason or Karen or anybody at that point. And I got real drunk one night and I left like this drivel. And I spent the entire podcast going, oh my gosh, please don't play it. And then they played it. And I was like,
but yeah, we are fully aware that he sounds a little inebriated by the end of this. So just so you know, we are aware. We still love Steve to death. So let's just go ahead and play it. This is our feedback from our buddy Steve Brown.
Hey, Kristin and Ben, this is Steve, and I'm. This is for The Lie, episode 2 of season 5. I'm not sure of the deadline, so I want to get this in as soon as I can. Frank is great. I love Frank. I love Hurley on this rewatch. He makes that kind of threat about, oh, you're going to need my help, and I'm not going to do it. But then he does help Saeed. So, yeah, I'm loving Hurley. This Michelle Rodriguez cameo was so good. I remember being just blown away when it happened the first time. And the Libby says hi is just a sticking the knife in and twisting it. That's right. We get a little razzle-dazzle expose in this episode. Okay, I blacked out for a second, but now I'm on the Kate and Son. Wow, such a good scene. Kate and Son. Oh. He does crazy ninja things and kills people. But he's okay. He's a good guy. And Hurley trying to explain to his mom is just classic Hurley. I love Hurley. I'm so confused because I don't remember this season well enough. John just rescued Juliet and Jane and Sawyer. What, huh? Okay, this season is so crazy. I'm going to have to, guys, help your help. What? Yeah, I need your help. Because bourbon.
I'm sorry we're laughing.
Bourbon.
Steve, we love you. It's because we get a little razzle dazzle.
Oh, razzle dazzle! Right when you were razzle dazzle, you're like, "Here we go."
Yep, here it comes.
I like the fact that he said ninja twice, and both times it didn't turn out as ninja.
I just like the fact that he admitted he blacked out for a second. It was at that point we're like, "Oh, okay, here it comes. Here's the shift."
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, we love you, Steve. Thanks for that.
Yes, thank you so much for always sending something in too. We really appreciate that. It's always fun, and I personally love hearing your voice once a week because I don't get to talk to you very much anymore. And man, every time I hear your voice and Dez's voice, I just miss you guys so much.
But speaking of Dez, let's go ahead and we'll play that now and see if Dez reminds us how much he hates Locke. Or loves John Locke, whichever one it is. I don't know. Here we go.
Okay, Ben, I can't imagine you started the show with anything, but why is there a dead Pakistani on my couch? So, Season 5, Episode 2, The Lie. This was a huge heartbreak episode for Hurley fans. At first, we see what a good and loyal friend he is. On the raft, when no one has his back, he swears he'll never help Saeed. But in the present, that's exactly what he's doing, trying to save his friend's life. When he is stopped by Ana Lucia, she tells him Libby says hi. It seems to me like he's been visited by pretty much every one of his friends who passed on the island, except for Libby. That's kind of sad. Anna also tells him to change his clothes, so of course he gets a giant bright yellow t-shirt with a Shih Tzu on it. No one will notice that. Can I mention what a shitbag his dad is? Okay, he might be right that Jack may not have had Hurley's best interest at heart, but geez, he ran out on his family when Hurley was just a kid and only came back when he won the lottery. We do get the first good parenting moment I think we ever had for Hurley when his mother tells him that she believes him when he tells him everything that happened on the island, even though she doesn't understand it. Just a few random thoughts. There is no way Big Buff Sawyer can fit into scrawny Frogert's shirt. I don't know why, but the flaming arrows scene is my favorite action scene of the whole series. Especially when Juliet stops to try to save someone on the ground and Sawyer pulls her away and tells him he's already dead. Daniel says the name of the show, Take a Drink. And John actually makes himself useful saving Juliet and Sawyer from teen Charles Widmore. Okay, well, I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.
Thanks, Des. Yeah, we never really mentioned Hurley saying like, I'll if you guys need help, I won't help you. And then the next scene is him helping Saeed.
Because, Hurley's not ever going to stop being Hurley.
Yeah. That's just not Hurley's character. Like,
right.
we know Hurley well enough that if anybody comes to him for help, he's going to help them.
Right.
So, I mean, it's just a given that he's doing what he's doing.
Mm-hmm.
So, and Des definitely has some differences of opinions as to Hurley's parenting style. You know
what? I agree with him about his dad, but I do disagree that he's still a piece of crap. I don't think he is at all. I think that he loves his son and he more than proves that in this episode.
Yeah, I agree with that. So thank you everybody for your feedback. And again, we encourage everybody to do so at the ways we mentioned before, which leads us to our recommendations for the week before we wrap up. And I'll turn it over to you, Kristin. Anything you want to recommend?
I don't have anything. We've been watching Resident Alien.
And it's so good. Was I wrong or right?
It's really good. It's really, really good. I think that they don't need so much story for the first season. I think they could have taken the entire government subplot completely out and it would have been great.
Wait till you watch the finale.
All right.
You might feel a little differently about that.
Okay.
Well, you're one episode away from the finale.
Yeah.
That's the last episode you have to watch.
Yeah.
But you did get to the point I mentioned about the Lost alum that pops up.
Yes, I did. I absolutely did. And so, so that's what we've been watching. And my recommendation actually is not TV or anything like that. We've been outside a lot lately. The weather's getting nicer. Our family is vaccinated. We're starting to, go places again. I mean, not everywhere, but we're starting to kind of get out there. We went to four different stores over the weekend, last weekend, running errands, felt pretty good, but we're also just spending time outside. And that feels so good to the point that I am now trying to take spend some time in the sun get some vitamin D every single day, however I can.
Yeah.
And that's my recommendation. You know, even if you're not vaccinated, even if you're at risk, spend some time in the sun. You
can do some things in the safety of your own yard. If you have one. Yeah. I've been doing the same thing. Like I'm vaccinated, so I can go out, and I do like, I love door dashing even more now because I get to do it with the windows down and the music up, and it's beautiful. But even on days when I'm at home, like I would find reasons to go out and do something to work on my car.
Yeah.
Like detailing my car, or like putting new hubcaps on my car, or washing it, or whatever. Like just finding reasons to go outside and do something outside.
Yeah, this morning I went out and I moved my plants around because we do container gardening. So I moved my plants around and I, watered everything, and I just kind of felt the nice air on me, and it felt really good. And I was like, I got to spend more time out here today. So I think awesome. I will.
I like that. I like that recommendation, and
Thank you.
Fully agree with it. Meanwhile, I'm going to give you 2 more recommendations to basically go inside and sit on your ass for a little bit. But you can do it at night after you've been outside.
Projector.
Yeah. Or put a projector outside and watch it outside. I watched a really great documentary the other day called The Last Blockbuster.
Oh, I saw something like that. Is it good?
It's so good. And it makes me, so it really is. It's about the downfall of Blockbuster Video and how they went from like over 9,000 stores to just like 9. And now there literally is one Blockbuster left remaining in the country. And it's still open. It's become like a tourist spot, and you can buy stuff online from them and everything. It makes me want to go. It's in Bend, Oregon. And I really like.
Of course it is.
And there are videos of there's video in the documentary of like Doug Benson, who is a huge movie person like I am, walking into this Blockbuster, and he feels just like a wave of nostalgia.
Mm-hmm.
And I would feel this. I used to be a store manager of a Blockbuster Video, so I know like the whole ins and outs of the store. I really want to go to Bend, Oregon, just to walk in this store and get that feeling again, because I loved that job.
Blockbuster should have changed when streaming hit. They should have just gone with the flow and had both stores and streaming early.
Well, they mention in the documentary, like one of the things a lot of people attribute to the fall of Blockbuster is Netflix, which actually isn't the case at all. And the documentary talks about that, about how like they were already on the downfall before Netflix was a thing. They mention it in the documentary, not to spoil too much, but they had an opportunity to buy Netflix and didn't do it because they didn't think it was the future of video streaming.
I could tell that it was immediately.
Yeah.
I don't have to go to a store. I could just have a queue and they just send me movies. Cool.
But they didn't think that was the future, so they turned down the opportunity to purchase Netflix.
Wow.
It's an amazing documentary, again, that leads up to the last Blockbuster, to the last existing Blockbuster. It's so good. It is currently on Netflix right now, oddly enough. If you get the opportunity to watch it, I highly recommend it. It's really well done. The other recommendation I have, and I'm going to preempt this because his name is kind of toxic right now, and that's Joss Whedon. But there's a new show that just premiered on HBO called The Nevers. That was written and created by Joss. Now he's no longer part of the production. He is one of the creators, and he did create it before his whole reputation went toxic. So there's really no way of backing out of that. And he is listed in the credits, but he is no longer part of the production. The show is amazing. And it's literally about like superheroes in 1899 London. So it's got it's got like a steampunkish feel to it, and it's really well done. Like the moment it just premiered this week, and the moment I watched after episode 1, I'm like, yeah, I need the rest of this show right now.
Oh, cool.
It's really well done. So if you can put aside the fact or accept the fact that Joss is no longer accepted or no longer part of it, it's a good watch. But I know some people will stay away from it because of the fact of the things that have come to light about him lately.
Now, let me ask you, have you watched Minari?
No, I knew that question was coming. I will.
I'm
watch
almost
it.
done with Resident Alien.
I will watch it before our next recording. I promise.
Sure. Yeah.
I promise.
Okay. So we'll be delayed.
No, I will watch it this weekend. I promise.
All right.
I will, and we will talk about it next week because I really do have to start jumping into those Oscar nominated films because the Oscars are coming up on the 25th.
Oh my gosh, we've had this conversation. We have had this conversation.
I know. We've had it like twice already. So I'm 2 weeks behind. I really need
You want to talk about the closer?
No. I hope he's laughing again. We love you, Steve. But unless you have any final notes.
No.
All right. That being said, thank you as always for being a part of this. We're starting to hear from new listeners on the Facebook page and everything, and I love it. Feel free to reach out in any way that we've given you earlier on. Let us know that you're listening. We love hearing about it. But
yeah, because I'm not on Facebook, so I don't get to see any of that.
But I do relay the messages to you.
Yes, you do.
So you do know when people have reached out, which is great.
Yes.
But thank you for being a part of this. Thank you for coming along on this journey. But until next time, we'll see you guys further on down that rabbit hole. Take care.
Bye. 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 Bloop.
We have to go back, Kate. We have to go back!